Once upon a time, there was a boundless ocean and a high mountain looming above wrapped in clouds. At the top of the mountain, there lived a bunch of human beings. They lived unprotected in damp caves and under canopies of leaves. They did not cultivate the land to grow food, but gathered whatever roots and berries they could find. They dressed in leaves and bark and did not tame the animals or tend to their children. Days were filled with swimming in fragile cold high mountain lakes and streams and lazy rides on the horses. People were just wild. As time went by, people gradually ran out of resources on the high mountain. And they realized once all those resources were used up, nothing could replace them in a short amount of time. Therefore, they decided they had to get food from the ocean by using some kinds of tool. People were smart. They knew they could cut down trees and use the wood to build some rafts that could send them to the ocean to get food. So they make rafts out of the wood from trees and harpoons out of stone from the earth. However, people were unadvisable at some point too, because they had no knowledge. They did not know what kinds of wood could be used without sinking in the ocean. Therefore, every time that they tried to send people to venture out to fish, the raft sank and people never returned. The death broke people's heart and turned their spirits back to dust. They started to wander up and down this mountain. They have nothing to do. And one day eventually, they started fighting with each other just for fun. How ridiculous is that? They hit each other first with fists, then with wood, and eventually with stones. Many of them ended up with death. And deep in the bottom of the sea, there lived a goddess of ocean, Mazu. She had been watching the people for a very, very long time. Every day, she just came out of her palace and graciously smoothed the ocean so that people could fish securely. But when she saw the people began to fight each other instead of walking, she decided it was time to make some changes. One day, she called a young couple from the mountain and took them to her palace where deep in the bottom of the sea. And she told them,
"You will be my son and daughter. I will show you what is love, what is care, what is rule, and what is word. And you, as my son and daughter, will teach my people how to be negotiators, how to be collaborators, how to be planners, and how to be achievers."
After that, she passed all her knowledge to the young couple and sent them back to the mountain. When they got back, the young couple struggled days and nights. However, with limited knowledge, they could barely think of a way to teach others who were still fighting with each other like they always did. So, Mazu decided to help her son and daughter. One night, the young man had a dream. In his dream, he stood at the foot of the mountain. Colorful buildings surrounded him, with children in red polo shirts and khaki pants walking all around, chatting happily with each other. The next morning, an idea suddenly came up in his brain. First, he went onto the mountain and cut a bunch of wood. Then he took people down to the foot of the mountain and built some log cabins. Along with those cabins, he also cleared out an open space and let grass grow on it. After constructing the buildings, the young man and woman went back to the mountain and gathered all people together. They told people what they had gotten from their mother Mazu, and people were all attracted to new things. So they went down with them to the cabins, where the young couple began teaching the people to become negotiators, collaborators, planners, and achievers. The name of the young couple is Mr. and Mrs. Stein, and they were the creator of what is now named NCPA.